Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
I am 30.
All right. We're talking this whole pretty privilege thing.
Pretty
Or
privileged.
so what do you think about that?
I think there's a few realms of pretty privilege. I guess with your platform, you speak mainly on a relationship realm. So pretty
Where
privilege
else
is
would pretty privilege be?
pretty privilege is prevalent in police stops, corporate America. You know,
But that's our relationships.
well, yeah,
Everything's relationships. Human
hmm
interactions are relationships.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
But when it comes to relationships, pretty privilege is definitely for women high when it comes to being chosen as a potential suitor or mate for men. Definitely.
Yeah.
You're going to see someone's personal appearance before you know anything else about them. So, pretty privilege is prominent in dating.
So if women know that and know it matters, why do they get so upset about the topic?
It could be a number of things. I think it could be self doubt, insecurity. It could be, um, I don't know. I can't say. I mean,
How
I
about
don't get
laziness?
upset. It can be laziness and complacency, definitely. Just
Uh,
following the
you, you,
conversations
you
that
said
you've had
you're
with
how old
people
again?
before.
30 what?
30, just
See,
30.
my,
Just
my my mother's generation, the women before them, they knew the women who were pretty and they knew the women who weren't pretty.
hmm
But the women who weren't pretty didn't get mad. They overperformed in other areas. Today, the
you
women
would
who
have
aren't
to.
pretty, today the women who aren't pretty are angry and loud and haters and talk about toxic masculinity and patriarchy instead
Yeah.
of learning how to bake a pie. Um, all right. So I have the notion. I say being a high value man is kind of like having pretty privilege. Does
hmm
that make sense? Yes or no?
Yeah, that's comparable.
All right. So we talked about being attracted, have pretty women having pretty privilege and being able to attract a man. But what about keeping?
And that's the difference. That's the difference that you would have to understand. You can get someone off of your appearance, but you can have a ugly spirit and an ugly personality and an ugly disposition and ugly qualities, but you can be royally attractive. But that's a pretty privilege. Pretty privilege is going to get you a man, but pretty privilege won't always keep you a man. And that's, I guess that's where the proponent of competition comes into play.
Yep.
You would have to compete to maintain that relationship that you got solely off of your looks.
Thank you very much. And that's what I think is so one thing that matters so much is we look at the love and hip hop generation and all
And
these
social media.
mm, all these Instagram baddies and this and that.
hmm
And I'm like, yeah, but show me the husbands of value. And the funny thing is, most women really don't want a high value man and what comes along with that. I
I think
don't
I saw
know.
you at Penn something earlier about it's too much work. I didn't get to see where that came from, but
Well, I asked if it's too much work.
oh,
And
that was your
that's the
question.
question. I asked if it's too much work because uh, it seems to me that a lot of women today just don't want to have to work to compete to keep a man. It's
I
like,
don't I
well,
don't think I don't
yeah,
think it's right that it would be too much work when it comes to keeping a man because you apply that same method to any other thing that you want to maintain. You have to consistently put in work to maintain your job. You have to consistently put in work to
yeah, but
maintain your
you're trying to
health.
make
And
you're trying to make sense. Men are free. Men aren't supposed to cost nothing. They're enterprise. See, you gonna get people over here hating on you. So, but
well, I mean,
yeah. So I appreciate you coming on, Ma. I got a couple other folks I'm proud to get on before the end. Thank you very much. Look,
you're
ladies,
welcome.
bye bye. Look, the lady said add me. I don't add people who have private accounts. I need to see who I'm dealing with. Um, look, I get it. I think this whole pretty privilege thing, and when I have a chance to do it on YouTube, it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be crazy because um, well, I put it to you this way. I think that many women expect to get something that they don't here we go. I don't want to do that. I think a lot of women understand how it works for them. I've asked the question: are women looking for fair deals today? Are women looking for fair deals? And unfortunately, it seems like a lot of women today are looking for unbalanced, one-sided deals, deals that benefit them. It's like many modern women have a hustle mentality. I'm going to get over on you before you can get over on me. I'm going to get as much as I can out of this situation before it goes left. And that's not your mother or your grandmother's generation, because those women expected to be with their men. Today, it seems like many women know they're not going to be there long. So it's like, let me run up the bill. Let me get as much food, as many gifts, as many this, many that. Because when it falls apart, because I can't maintain it, I can at least say I got this out of the situation. No, no, no. And here's the thing: that is a good OnlyFans, Instagram kind of mindset, but it doesn't last for women over, when you're over a certain age. What happens when you're 45? And that's what I think a lot of this stuff seems to fall apart. Is when you're over 45, where is it? Now, I'm good with it either way. I just say understand what you're getting into. Oh, I see this. Okay, let me see. She has to join. Okay. Nurse so-and-so. Okay. All right, let's try it. This connection is getting crazy over here. So we'll try this. I think it would be good if many women could understand their true sexual marketplace value, accept it, and act accordingly. What does that mean? Ladies, stop talking about your PhDs.
I'm a PhD.
Your income, your car, your this, your that. You're walking around, so I'll wait till you get in the light.
Yeah, I have my son, so I'm trying to get away from him. So
Okay.
hello.
So, okay. Hello, Howard. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
How old are you?
I'm 32 years old. I'll be 33 next month.
All right. So we're talking about pretty privilege and all the traumas that women apparently deal with rather than their average or something. I don't get it. But go ahead.
You were breaking up. I couldn't hear you.
So we're discussing pretty privilege and the reality that many women are having to face today, that pretty privilege exists and where they rank and what they can expect to get.
Yeah, unfortunately it is like the reality of the world right now. A lot of guys, they do go after how you look. But like the other girl stated when she was just on here, it does not maintain the relationship. You have to have more than just your looks, because looks will eventually fade. So
Who told you that?
that your looks will eventually fade.
Well, you said unfortunately that's the reality of the world today. Meaning what?
Meaning that men, they look at how you look. A lot of times when guys approach a woman, is because of the physical attraction.
When have men never looked at how a woman looks?
When have men have ever looked at how a woman looks?
When have men ever picked women on a different level?
What do you mean? I'm sorry.
You said, unfortunately, men today look at how a woman looks as if men are different today than they used to be. When did men not care about a woman's looks?
Oh, I can't answer that question. I don't know.
So why'd you say, unfortunately, today?
Because this is the world I live in today. It's what I've been experiencing.
But what are you comparing it to? But you said, unfortunately, today, comparing it to what?
I wasn't really comparing it to anything. I was just saying today, based on my experiences, women.
So again, let's say this. Unfortunately, bears eat salmon because that's just the nature of bears today. That would say that there was a time where bears didn't eat salmon, And then you're saying, oh no, bears have always eaten salmon. So it's not unfortunate. Men have
Right.
always looked at a woman's looks. It's not
Right. Okay.
unfortunate. Let's flip it.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, today, women look at the amount of money a man can make and how productive he is to evaluate what kind of man he is. That's
Hmm.
unfortunate because everybody gets old and everybody got hard times and things happen. You're going to start looking for a man that's not producing?
No.
Okay.
Hmm. No, I understand what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you. I understand what you're saying. Maybe my word, unfortunately, kind of threw off what my point was,
I
but
think I think the point was that men shouldn't be picking women based on their looks.
um, I wouldn't say that because me as a woman, I definitely do want a guy that's successful. So I think everyone is entitled to decide what they want, what's of value for
Should a
them.
man choose a woman
Like,
based on her looks?
that's okay. That's
I say
okay.
I said should he?
Yes, I think that's okay because when I date a guy, I
Should a
want him to
man
be
should a
financially
man judge a
stable.
woman based upon should a man judge a woman based upon her physique?
I think there's more to people than how they look, but I think initially that's probably what's going
Were
to
you raised by your
gain the interest.
mother and father? Were you raised by your
I
mother
was
and
raised
father or just your
I
mother?
was raised by my mother, and my stepdad came
Hmm.
into my life when I was 8. So my father was never there.
Okay. Sounds to me like you don't understand men.
I don't.
And
I've been trying. I've been trying.
stop trying to make men women. That's one of the biggest problems today. You guys try to make us you. We
Hmm.
judge you based upon your looks and your physique. Accept it. We accept that we are success objects, so you need to accept that you're sex objects.
Sad, but I hear you.
Why is that sad?
Because it's something that's difficult to accept. It is. It's
Then
very
your mother
difficult for
failed
me
you.
to accept it.
Then your mother failed you. That's why it's
Hmm.
difficult to accept because you were raised wrong.
Probably.
Blame your mama because
Okay.
your mother and other generation. You chewing gum?
I am chewing gum.
You
Here,
you
I'll
got a
take it off.
bonnet. You got a bonnet back there too.
I just took my bonnet off.
No, I
So
bet you do, but you still got that damn smoke detector going off. Goddamn. Single woman starter kit. All right. Blame your mama.
stop.
Blame your mama. Because that's how men are. And today, so
Hmm.
many women like you are sitting here waving your sanctimonious finger at men like we're wrong when your mama was wrong. Your mama should have told you, girl, get your ass in the gym and stay fit and be pretty. Because that's what men do. That ain't what she told you, was it?
I mean, I don't really have these conversations with my mom, to be
Then your
honest.
mama
But
failed you.
yeah, but I learned
Because
it on my own,
you
dating,
had to learn
making
it
my
on
own
your own, but your
mistakes.
mama should have told you this. But your
Yeah,
mama didn't have,
I
but your
agree.
mama
But
didn't have no daddy in the house. So she was a single woman, living like a single woman
she
mindset
did
until
not
your
have a dad.
stepfather come on. So
Yep.
stop saying how we are at cross purposes. And you came in talking about men as if something was wrong with us. And the problem with you and your mama and the women of your generation and your family, your mothers and your women didn't tell you that this is how men are. So you think we're wrong.
Hmm.
Okay, well, then did you ever ask yourself, as a black woman? Because I've heard many black women say, I don't see why them white girls starve themselves like that. Why they in the gym and doing all this and doing that? And da, 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 da. Because their men like women who are fit.
Hmm. Agreed.
Okay, so
Agreed.
let's back it back. You're 32.
Yes, 32
How
years
does
old.
how does your child?
He's 5.
How, and you and the father aren't married.
Nope, he's not even a part of his life
Okay. Do
by
you want
his
to be
choice.
Do you want to be married one day?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Do you want more children?
I do. Maybe one or
Okay,
two.
one or two. How tall are you?
5'2".
Dress size?
I wear a size 4, I think. 4 now.
How much you weighed the last time you weighed yourself?
136.
36. Okay. You got a kind of a fuller face then, I guess.
Yeah, but there you go.
Okay. I just said a fuller face.
Yeah.
So the fact of the matter is how men judge women is based upon your looks, your physique, and then if you have kids. Now, do you accept the fact that having a child out of wedlock negatively impacts your sexual marketplace value?
Yeah, I have. It took me a while to kind of like see
Mm-hmm.
that, but now that I've been dating, having such a difficult time dating, I'm like, I can see it. Yeah. But I
Well,
also want to ask a question. It's kind of like
okay,
deviating
but
from the
well, but
pretty.
before we do that, you got to get back to that. But I'm going to ask this question. You said it took you a while to get around that. The women in your family didn't tell you having a child is going to make it harder to get married?
My mom did tell me to marry before having a child, but she, like
Okay.
I said, we don't have that relationship where she talks to me in that way.
Okay.
I'm from Jamaica, so I was raised a little
Okay.
bit different with tough love, where
Yeah,
we
but
never really had those
I think
conversations.
every group of women tell the women to get married before you have a kid.
Yeah,
So I don't
yeah,
understand why women seem to be so shocked that you can love your kid and your kid can be a number one and well behaved and well mannered, but it's still a liability to men. But your question was going to be what?
I was having this conversation with my sister, and I tend to add value to myself because I am educated and I have my life together as far as like my finances. But we were having this debate where she's saying that men of high value don't really care if a woman have, their finances together and stuff. So I wanted to know your thoughts on that.
We don't care initially. That's not the first thing you look at. You said you
Okay.
add value to yourself. Where would you rank your femininity?
I'm working on it. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm a very
So what would you rank it on a scale of 1 to
right
10?
now, maybe average. I'm getting
Average
better
who?
at it.
Average who? Average for who? A black woman? Average
Like a
for an
5.
Asian? Average for who? An Asian woman? A Middle Eastern woman? Hispanic woman? Average for who?
Maybe myself, I guess.
Average for
I
what
don't
race of women? Come on, you okay? What average for yourself? You know what
Mhm.
feminine is? Where is average? See, that's a different average.
Like I dress feminine. I carry myself very feminine. I'm very
That's
feminine,
look.
but
I
I
say your
don't.
femininity, not your
Yeah.
look. Your femininity.
hmm Like
Be
how
honest.
submissive I am.
Well, that comes next.
Yeah,
But
I'm working on that. I'm
okay.
that was
So
one of my biggest.
the main things we want, men of value on is cooperation, submissiveness, and agreeableness, femininity. So I think it's funny that you said you add value to yourself. No, you're adding value for what you look for in a man, not what men look for in a woman. You were raised to think like a man.
Yeah, I got that
Well,
before.
well, then don't be surprised that you can't find the kind of men you think you match with.
Mm.
Because if I'm asking you where your femininity ranks at 30 something, and you can't even, you're telling me average for whom? What college would you go to, a HBCU or a PWI?
I actually went to a community college.
All
I
right.
got my associates and I got my master's. I mean my doctorate. My bachelor's from there, and I'm now working on my master's in at this college. It's just the online college.
Okay. You have a bachelor's in what?
Nursing. I'm a registered nurse.
All right. One of the professions that high value men tend to avoid, nurses.
Yep, I'm a nurse, and I'm going to school to get my master's in psychiatric mental health to be a nurse practitioner. So,
And I can tell you how many psychiatrists and how many actual clinic psychiatrists and psychologists who are doctors who are females would tell you this is the worst thing you could do.
really?
Trust me, I know lots of them. And every time one of y'all pop up, they say, "Oh my God, give her my number." I should tell you, yeah, thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Yeah. And nobody, men don't want to date no psych. I mean, okay. Bottom line is this, but here's the difference. All that stuff is for who?
You mean the degree and stuff for
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah,
What I
yeah. Of
want to do,
course.
I
Well,
enjoy it.
then that's what you're gonna have is you and your kid by yourself. That's what you're gonna have, you and your kid by yourself.
Okay.
You're not because the things that men want, you say I'm working on it, but you're proud to talk about you. I got my finances in order and I got my degree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. We don't care about that.
Mm.
And she
Hold
said,
on
yeah.
a second.
Matter of fact, this is Ivy League graduate psychiatrist,
Okay, hold on.
female, and she's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. And
Mm-hmm.
she said, tell him to run. Tell her to save
Damn.
herself. Pro-black woman.
Ooh.
I'm not going to tell my. So I'm telling you, look, you ladies need to understand that. I mean, you haven't been combative or argumentative, but you were raised to be a modern woman. And the thing is, if I put you in the room with the kind of men you think you match up with, see, the reality is this pretty privilege thing is not so much about looks as it is about class, social class. Women like you want men in
Right.
a certain social class and an income bracket.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, those men tend to want women who are traditional, leaning, even if they weren't raised traditional. So to have your femininity in question is to have a low value for these men.
Mm-hmm.
Case in
Yeah.
point, if there's a dinner party and the guys are over here having a discussion about politics or mental health or whatever, and the women are over here talking about whatever they're talking about, you'd probably want to be over here with the guys.
Hmm.
True or false?
Probably true.
Put your dick up. So I said, your mothers failed you in the sense that they didn't tell you who men are, what we're like, that we are right, and we're supposed to judge you based upon your looks and your physique. No, now we call that chauvinistic and patriarchal and toxic. That's why men are saying French toast this. You can't try to criminalize men. That's why men don't even approach women. The birth rates are dropping because men aren't even approaching women like that anymore. And then you say I added value by having my finances. Those things would be valuable after you have your feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, feminine thing going.
Mm-hmm.
But the man has to pick you first. So
Yeah, I have heard that before. I've heard that before, and I've been trying to work on, being as submissive as I can because I am very
are you in a relationship?
I was in a relationship with my son's dad for 4 years, and then I was in another relationship for 2 years.
Okay.
But I have not been in a
Why didn't you and your child's father marry?
To be honest, I think it's on my end as well, and his end. I don't think he was ready, and I was very aggressive. I didn't know how
So
to.
you didn't marry because what?
He didn't want to. He didn't want to, and we weren't a good match. We had a lot of
Okay,
disagreements.
but you got to know what my next question is going to be. Then why make a baby?
Yep.
Your child
Yep.
is how old? 5?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hope you're prepared to sit out of marriage for the next 13 years.
I'm not. I'm gonna try my best, but I don't want to be not married.
Okay, but the reality is, ma'am,
Uh-huh.
the man you chose to have a baby with, it was a choice. You couldn't even get it together with him.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to marry you, or you were too masculine, combative, aggressive to be married.
I was too masculine, combative, and aggressive to be married to him at that
And
point.
that's the man you gave the highest honor a woman can give to a man in the world. Every man who comes after will get leftovers. Your womb is used.
Mm-hmm.
Every man knows coming after him that they will be your second choice at best.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's going to attract a high caliber man with options?
Mm-hmm. It might attract them, but I don't have a problem attracting men and
You
dating
know what
guys
I
of
mean?
that value.
Do you think that's going to attract a high caliber husband for marriage?
I've been having a hard time with that, so I'm being very doubtful right
Because
now.
because you
Hmm.
couldn't get it with your child's father. As of today,
Hmm.
you said you've been working on it. With whom? Your femininity. Who have you been working on it with?
Well, myself and I have a lot of guy friends who are uh-huh,
You
and
can't work
dating.
on it. You can't work on it with yourself. Physician,
Well,
heal
I've been.
thyself. You can't, man, you can't work on it by yourself. See,
Hmm.
let me say something that's going to make hurt a little bit.
Hmm.
You have a habit of keep your hand in your mouth.
Hmm. I'm
That's not
nervous. That's.
okay. I'm just saying that's just bringing it to your attention.
Hmm.
These are things that an etiquette coach or femininity instructor would bring to your attention. It's not ladylike. It's like the chewing
Hmm.
of the gum and things like that. You don't even know what to look for.
Hmm.
So my point is, the first thing you said is I added value to myself by getting my money together, my degree together. When the smartest thing you could do for the outcome you want is to get your femininity together. That's what you should be investing tens of thousands of dollars into. Getting that together, because the path you're on right now is to having a degree job by yourself alone, single income. See, in our community, our women are quicker to run to college and then get upset that men don't value, and then call men shallow and patriarchal and toxic because we don't want a female man.
Hmm.
You can't do it by yourself. And your male friends, are they heterosexual?
Yes. Yes.
Then they're not friends. Men and women can't truly be friends.
Hmm. Hmm.
Who was that?
I'm sorry.
What was that?
In the background, oh, that's my little brother and my son talking. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
So my point is femininity is best taught to women by other women.
Hmm.
And you you our relationships are reflective. We attract what we are, right? So
Right.
if you're frustrated with the kind and caliber of man you're attracting, look in the mirror.
Change yourself. Mm.
Take
Mm.
look in the mirror. Last
Mm.
last last question. Last few questions.
Mm.
Is that your
Okay.
natural hair?
Yes,
Is
it
that
is.
okay? Uh, Eyelashes?
No, those are fake.
Stop that. Stop that. Doesn't do anything
Mm.
for you. Men today, especially the kind of men you're talking about, are extremely are, yeah.
Mm.
There used to be a time where women would do all that stuff, glamour shots, and kind of like. It's sad to see so many women today who honestly look like got drag queen level makeup. These big
Hmm.
floppy eyelashes looking at me. We don't men don't. Have you heard men say they like that?
I'm sorry.
Have you heard men say, "Ooh, I think that's sexy. I want a woman with that."
No, I've never heard that.
Why do it? Do the things that we say we want.
Mm.
That's really what you should focus on. What do the kind
Mm.
of men you want say they want, and do that? That's
Mm.
what any good seller of a product would do. You don't go to a vegetarian, bohemian, liberal, Zen side of town and try to open a steakhouse.
Mm.
And then lastly, you got to figure out what's going on with the kid and all that situation, but it's going to be difficult. It's going to be
Yeah,
really
it's
difficult because
hard.
that's just the reality and you can't undo that. So,
Yeah.
um, but it doesn't make, but here's the thing. I say all that because I don't want women like you to become bitter at men, thinking that something's wrong with men, and that's the trajectory. When you can't get the outcome, let's just say you may not be able to get the outcome you want. You can't blame men. You have to look at your choices. I chose to be a single mother. I chose to do these things. I chose not to get my femininity together. This, that, da, 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 da. So in the time when these choices were being made, you know, I can't do it. Just like that one young lady who's in the Olympics and she's going to get kicked out for smoking weed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether we think weed is right or wrong is irrelevant. She knew the rules.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what Michael Phelps did or whatever. She can say whatever she wants. But if the Olympics happen and she's not able to run, ultimately, she can never say 100% that I was done wrong. She had a chance.
Mm-hmm.
You got a chance. Focus on
Right.
what the kind of men you want, not what you think we should get because we are like women's looks and that, such and so forth. All right, have a good day, man. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one. Yeah, see, that's why I say a lot of women, they were taught that men shouldn't want these things. Man, that's crazy. Men want beautiful women, just like women want men who can provide. That's fair. Value, ladies. Men don't value. Men value what men value. And I'll say this again. If y'all don't take all them Mr. Snuffleupagus eyelashes off, men don't want all that stuff, y'all. Not the kind of, and if they do, you'll be mad at the kind of guys that end up doing that. What the hell are they doing? So, all right. I got to run. This has been good. This has been great. But we're going to do part 2 tomorrow on YouTube. It's almost midnight. I got to go. Before Keanu Reeves tried to steal my style, this was what your brother wore on the days when I had to bring the real fine. Pretty privilege exists. Ladies, understand. Pretty privilege is like being a high-value man, except being a high-value man lasts a lot longer. The difference is men got to make ourselves high value. We have to make ourselves high value. You guys just have to maintain privilege. Choose, ladies, choose. Choose. But don't get mad at the privilege if you don't have it. Maximize what you can. Peace out.